Oh, wow, that's interesting. But we are gonna get this started here. The uncle is leaving us forever, never to see him again until we see him about a minute from now inside the uncle cave. Just a piece of heart in the first chest at Link's house. Nothing substantial. Unfortunately, will not get your particular scenario just yet, but, you know, there's still some other chests in Escape we can get as well.
Looked like Crystal 2, Blue Pendant, and Crystal 7.
Yes, I believe that's what I saw as well, with the pendant on Tower of Harif, I believe. Okay, so what do we got? We got the hammer.
Oh boy.
Now, hammer is interesting. You have a very small hitbox you're working with. It does a lot of damage, but one thing that is definitely comforting about the hammer is that you will not be able to run out of ammo or magic with the hammer, so you don't have to worry about kind of watching your stock, your ammo stock, or your magic while doing that. And we also get a bomb from one of the guards too, so the back of escape chests are also taken care of.
Yep, pretty good. Not to mention hammer, tempered sword damage very early on. It's very nice to have. Like said before, the hitbox with the hammer is very, very picky. So the up attacks are the most challenging ones to hit, but side and down are your go-to.
Definitely a very powerful item to have in this chest in here. We just got 50 rupees, but hey, that's not so bad. Gives us some early seed money to work with here in this seed. In addition to that damage output, the hammer will also act as one of our keys to the Dark World as well. Still need to find a glove upgrade and the Moon Pearl. Still, it's good to have one of those items at least taken care of very early.
Oh yeah. Alright, just getting some more keys for the rest of the dungeon here.
Did get an arrow drop too, so if they do happen to find that bow, they will unfortunately have ammo for that, or at least Spooty will anyway.
I did notice before that they were taking out any guards that were in their direct way, maybe hoping trying to get some more bombs. One's nice, but it's always nice to have a couple extras, especially for Kakariko.
Do find the bug net inside Zelda's cell. Not a progression item, but if our runners will want to get some safeties later, they could always utilize that. It is definitely nice to get that bomb drop early, though. Like you said, they'll be definitely killing some soldiers that'll be in their way, but at the very least, they don't have to. They can still get that escape wall, and they can just kind of go through here really, really quickly. So that is probably a nice feeling to get that early.
Yep, that early bomb takes a lot off your mind. So you don't need to worry about bombs immediately, but you do need to get some at some point. They do have the money for a purchase in Kakariko if need be. But at least they don't need to worry about backtracking the latter part of escape for the bombable wall there.
Yeah, definitely. One of the biggest pains is having that first progressive glove upgrade inside the back of escape. Because if that's there and you can't get another glove upgrade, you have to work your way back through the front door of Hyrule Castle and get back there. So, very unfortunate when that does happen. Anyway, here we have the final boss of the escape portion, the key rats. This is the last enemy you have to destroy to get through this section. It can be really annoying to dealing with when you have like bombs or, you know, a magic weapon, because it can be really rambunctious to just run around the floor for a while.
Couple big 20s in the can of Brian.
And with that can of Brian, once they do get that Moon Pearl and access to Death Mountain, that could put Spike Cave in the logic when they get to Death Mountain.
Yep. And the fire rod at the very end.
Wow, so that's like 3 of the possible weapons you could get from Uncle in Escape. It's so funny to see that happen.
Well, that was certainly a nice find for Escape there, but we will see what Kakariko will have in store. And another bomb drop there for Spooty there.
Ooh, very, very nice. And just some mini magic pots from the tree pole. And some blue rupees here from the bush crab. We're both going to see what's on the lumberjack item ledge here. Yep, just a 5 bomb capacity upgrade. Don't see them beating Aghanim for that, but Aghanim is still definitely not off the table yet. Quite often you'll see an Aghanim play just for Dark World excess, so we'll have to see if they manage to get those other items before that actually happens.
Heart piece in that mushroom location.
And a full heart container inside the forest hideout, so not too bad. Always good to get those heart containers early, just so you're not wandering around the Dark World with 3 hearts.
Yep, whenever early heart containers, or sometimes even heart pieces, are nice to get just for that extra safety early on.
Ooh, and both runners picking up that 4 bomb drop from the crow right as they leave. That is very helpful. That'll cover them for those Kakariko checks here. And then they might be able to find some more bombs, which may not require a trip to the item shop after all.
Well, if they somehow do not find any more bombs, they could end up just farming the shed for bombs, or go without, or just purchase from the shop.
That is true. That is very true. And yep, got some more bombs right there. Got another heart piece. The Cane of Samaria.
And half magic.
Wow.
Well then. Well, I feel this is going to be a search for the bow with how many items we found so far.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And that bow will definitely be required for crystal dungeons. We have Eastern Palace as one of our crystals here. And we're taking a look at our other 5-item location in Kakariko. Got a red rupee, the lamp.
Alright then.
Blue mail, another red rupee, and just another arrow upgrade. So, got some defense, got rid of any need to do dark rooms. So far, this Kakariko is being very, very generous right now. And the
there it is. I was about to say, where is the Moon Pearl?
Right
and
there.
The bottle vendor has it.
Still need that glove upgrade, but there's at least 2 of them, so you got to think there's a higher probability we'll find it at some point.
Oh yeah, those gloves, they're hiding somewhere. My hunch is in Eastern.
I can see that. I can see that. You know, just some chump change inside the back of the tavern. Nothing substantial. So we're going to go to South Kakariko now to see what is going to be on the library and potentially the race game as well.
Oh! Well, the boots, where are they now?
Oh yeah, I need to find those boots for Dark World.
And the shovel at the end of it.
And they are going to go get this because the shovel spot is not too far away from here, so may as well grab it and then go check that out as well.
Yep. Well. Now, what does it take to get to the boots now? Wonder if that's going to be our first glove, or if that's going to be the Titansmith's pickup.
There we go, got that shovel. And yeah, that very well could be our Titansmiths and not the Power Glove. Those boots, honestly, could be anywhere. At this point, the boots really only unlock like a few item locations. It may also unlock progression through Desert or Misery Mire if we do need them for that, but you know, it could be a while before we find those boots.
Digging up that rusty shield.
It looks rusted too from being in the ground there as well, so... Okay, so here we go. This is where we could have a first possible divergence, but I think, yeah, they're both going to be going for the South Shore, which, understandable. More items there. Don't have the bow yet. Kind of want to avoid going to the eastern area until you have that bow, just so you can, you know, maybe I can just clear all of this at once instead of having to come back later.
Yep. Yeah, without the bow, the eastern play isn't the strongest one. You're not able... Ooh, and fighter sword there. We got all the items of South Hyrule and the lake to check as well, so it's, for me, it's a better play to check down here.
Yeah, especially at this point. But with that, we are now 6 for 7 of all the possible Uncle items.
And the wet book there.
Okay, so will this be... Okay, now, when you get a book at this point, you're always thinking, well, could I maybe go over to Desert? Could Desert have the progression? But they're both opting not to. Understandable play, because again, there's just too many uncertainties right now. Without the boots, possibility we can't even complete Desert, especially without another glove upgrade too. So just kind of too locked right now.
Yeah, they can get into Desert. They can't complete it as of right now. They have the ability to, but just without the gloves, they can't get to the backside.
Right.
Oh.
Master Sword. So with that Master Sword, we do have Aghanim access now.
Yep, Master Sword and the lamp. So, after, I assume they'll be checking Eastern, they may opt to actually do Aghanim if they do not find the glove upgrade.
Yep, that is very possible. Highly likely, I'd even say, at this point, because yeah, we're running out of locations.
And we'll see if the pyramid actually contains something. It could have the boots, you never know.
You got the right color, but just a heart container. It looks like SpootyBiscuit's going to be potentially doing a fake flipper here. He is not saving and quitting.
I do not blame him there. At least get knowledge of the item on the island in the lake, possibly Hobo, and maybe even going up to check the Zora ledge after doing Waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just going straight up.
Meanwhile, Dragon is taking that book as an indication that, you know, there could be something here in Desert Palace. And, you know, if those boots are here, score.
Ooh, Spooty, out of sequence flute pickup.
Ooh, oh man, that's gonna be...
That's nice early on movement.
With that, he could flute right up to Death Mountain and skip a whole bunch of stuff right now.
Alright, just 300 rupees on the Zora ledge. Not a big thing, so... Gonna walk down, take the... I always love seeing this. Just water walking the entire time.
Yeah, I love it too.
I did not catch the island there.
Ooh, Dragon run into a little bit of trouble. Does pick up the cape from Desert.
Ooh. Oh!
Oh my god!
Oh! Spooty with the out-of-sequence glove pickup.
Okay, where are those flip... Okay, so... both glove upgrades are blocked behind footwear.
So where are we gonna find any footwear?
I don't know.
What's the first piece that we're supposed to find? So Spooty here, about to let that flute go on.
Meanwhile, inside Agnes Cave, just a blue rupee. Okay, not gonna find those any of those footwear there.
This might actually be an Aga required.
I think so too.
But that out of sequence might actually help a lot.
Definitely. Because, yeah, with that out of sequence there, Spooty is going to go straight to the Dark World. Because he has all 3 items to do it, and he's going to be, potentially, if he finds both the boots and flippers, you know, this is, by logic, a required Aga seed, but you could easily bypass it by doing your sequence breaks here.
Oh, we're getting a pedestal check early, and also we're getting Sahasrara's hut check. The single arrow.
Meanwhile, pedestal, what do we have today? Ooh, a sword upgrade.
Tempered and or buttered sword. Right in the pedestal.
I don't want to say pet is dead to, like, you know, get the chat sad, because that's a really interesting item to see on the pedestal. It's just that, you know, with Tempered out there, and, you know, you can beat the game with just Master Sword. I don't see our runners going out of their way to get that sword unless they're just led through all the pendant dungeons anyway.
Mm-hmm. If they have to do Turtle Rock Pendant and Green Pendant Swamp.
And Mire and Thieves Town were the red crystals for today.
Nothing like seeing Green Pendant Swamp. But yeah, if for some reason they end up having to go through the pendant dungeons and end up completing them, it's not a reason to pick up the sword, yeah. Especially if they are still at Master Sword.
Yeah, there's a huge difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword, but between Tempered and Buttered Sword, Gold Sword, not really much of a difference. So if they get Tempered, they're not even going to be concerned with that.
Mm-hmm. And I just realized we're about to get a 3 out of 5 heart Mothula fight here.
Yeah, this is. I'd say this is definitely the boss that scares a lot of new randomizer runners, just because having to fight Mothula with such low number of hearts can be a very scary experience. But thankfully, we have Blue Mail, we have Master Sword, so it's not terribly bad. But getting unlucky with those spikes can be definitely a pain for this fight.
Yep, I'm pretty sure taking a hit with those spikes there is 1 heart no matter the armor level, so it's always scary, especially low hearts.
Oh my gosh.
I'm tense right now.
Yes, same here.
Oh! Oh my!
Done. Just as he's getting ready to be hit by that.
If that was not a killing blow, that would have killed.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful Mothula fight. Anyway, last treasure in Eastern is the map. Dragon cannot do anything else, so unless he decides to do some sequence breaking, he could be under the impression that this is an Aghanim seed. Oh, he's going north.
Yep, that's the logical play. So with that, it begs the question, what does the pyramid and or the Eastern Dark World have in terms of progression?
Heck, even with that hammer, the hammer could take him down to Hype Cave and some
yeah,
of the other
yeah.
southern locations as well, so it definitely has options once he gets there. It's just very unfortunate that there were 2 very big item pickups in the fake flipper sequence that he's unfortunately just going to miss out on here.
Mm-hmm. That flute is just very nice to have early on for movement.
Mm-hmm. And, I definitely can't blame Dragon for, making this play the way he is, because, doing sequence breaks out of the logic,
They're
it can be
dangerous.
a risky thing to do. Yeah, it can be a dangerous thing to do. When it helps, but sometimes it can just kind of get you under the wrong impression. You're always trying to think of a way to get back on logic while you're out of logic, so it's a very tricky circumstance.
Yeah, because the problem is you find that one nice or a couple nice items, and then you're just like, all right, then I just need this, and that one item that you're looking for was earlier on in the logic that you forget to check it, or it's something like that. Definitely.
We do find the mushroom inside Skullwoods, another fetch quest item.
Oh, I gotta love those fetch quests. So I'm wondering if Dragon is going to end up doing the Swaganim fight.
He does have that net. It is a possibility. It's on the table.
Bumper Cave has nothing but an upgrade.
Yeah. Yes, Clown Kefka and Chats. dragonc0 pretty much went through all possible locations within the logic. So he exhausted all those locations before he went to Aghanim. The one thing he did not do was the fake flipper sequence break to get both flute and power glove. Anyway, Spooty now going through the Village of Outcasts, getting through those items, and then more than likely going to hop into Thieves Town right after, get his second crystal of the seed.
Yep.
Grabbing the blue boomerang from the chess game. Ooh, Quake Medallion. Could be the required medallion for Misery Mire. We don't know yet, obviously.
Or, ooh, silvers.
Ooh, silver.
Need the bow, but
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't know what the requirement for Mire or even Turtle Rock is. Quake could be useful or not.
That's true.
It could be go into Turtle Rock and find the other medallion to go into Mire. Certainly not out of the realm of possibility.
The one thing we do know is that flippers and boots cannot be in Turtle Rock, so at least there's there. At least there's that.
Yep. At least one of those.
No, well, don't you need both glove upgrades to get
yeah. Disregard me then.
It's fun.
Aghanim being very rude right now.
I was gonna say, this is a very long Aghanim fight. Oh, and he's on half heart of damage too, so we need to be very careful here.
Man, Spooty lucking out, not having to fight that pattern Aghanim.
That is correct, because if Spooty did choose to fight Aghanim, he'd get that same exact RNG that Dragon got, so he'd have to suffer through all those blue balls to get that fight done. Just a red rupee on the pyramids, so that is not where the intended progression is going to be. Wow, so that was 12 blue ball attacks. That's insane. I've never seen that many, personally.
That's actually unbelievable. But since we do have the hammer, Dragon making their way to Hype Cave here. Hopefully finding the progression footwear.
In fact, this entire cave could be a shoe outlet. We might get both in here for all we know.
Buy one, get one half off. Nope, just finding the mirror, though.
Mirror's good. Mirror's good. I mean, especially just starting your Dark World access, that'll allow you to more properly able to navigate the Dark World and get all those mirror spots taken care of. Also, Spooty doing great item counting here, realizing that he has all the items from Thieves Town, not going to bother picking up the chest that's in the Maiden's Cell.
So, Dragon does have the mirror. Technically, can check the pedestal, or sorry, not the pedestal, the tablet, the Bombas tablet, and Swamp.
We have our bow. Bo was on Stumpy.
Stumpy.
Just a red rupee inside the cave south of the grove here.
Oh, just a pixel or two too far to the right there.
Meanwhile, Spooty picking up his second crystal 30 minutes into the run. Must be feeling really, really happy that he got those sequence break items. Because making great time on the seed so far, and with all the items that he's going to get by checking the south of Village of Outcasts here, he's going to be feeling even better about his sequence break.
Oh yeah. Gonna be looping around. Both of them gonna be doing the dig game at roughly the same time. So yeah, after Spooty makes their way to Hype Cave getting their mirror, I don't see any reason not to do Eastern End Pod sequence.
28 digs for the vanilla heart piece.
Could always be worse.
Yeah, it could have been 30 digs. So yeah, it looks like our progression is going to be in the Palace of Darkness. At least Dragon's progression, anyway. Spooty's a couple of steps ahead in that regard, but we'll be heading over there next, it looks like, once he grabs the bow and mirror. And yeah, like you said, getting that Eastern Palace of Darkness combo in together is always really, really nice. I know some runners will opt to not even touch Eastern until they have that mirror and Dark World access, just so they can kind of search 2 dungeons at one time. So once again, Spooty's routing just really paying off for him here.
So I wasn't paying too good of attention during the dig game, but apparently Loss was dug up, I believe, by Spooty. The pattern in which he dug up.
Oh my god.
I know it looked kind of awkward.
What am I gonna do with all of you randomizer runners and your memes? I don't know.
There's always gonna be new memes. People
I know.
can't stop them. But yeah, it looks like Spooty gonna be jumping into Pod in Eastern.
Now he did just pick up that mirror, and he is not doubling back to check Cave South of the Grove, K45, whatever its name is. Could be kind of a location where he'll be thinking about that for a while. Will this be important? Will this be required? I don't know, but thankfully, if he does skip it, he's not going to be missing out on anything, so that's good for him.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see if Spooty is actually going to require the flippers. If they do not need to go into swamp at all, they can just fake flipper into ice.
That's true. That is very true.
With the number of items in swamp, it's hard to tell, but you never know.
The catch-22 with Swamp is, yeah, there's 6 items there. With a green pendant, that'd be 7. But it could also just be 6 unimportant items, too. So runners will still opt to not go in there unless they absolutely have to, just in the opportunity that they have to go mode it or not do it at all. Anyway, Dragon working through the key collecting process of Palace of Darkness.
Oh, SpootyBiscuit forgetting that you need Kiki.
Yeah, you do kind of need him to open this door.
The mirror iframes don't quite help to pick him up.
Yeah, yeah.
Finding the powder there.
And you know, with Hammer, that powder could be leading to our progression, and there could be nothing in Palace of Darkness.
It could be going straight to the blacksmiths.
Yep.
So yeah, with that big key as the first item, the bow is definitely a requirement, or at least logically.
We do have our boots, though. Boots were found in Palace of Darkness.
Well, there they are.
There they are, indeed. Oh, collecting some money here. That's actually a good point that I meant to say earlier. This has not been a very money-heavy seed so far.
Mm-hmm. The only large rupee that I've seen was that 300 on Zora Ledge.
Right.
And King Zora himself, we still don't know what that item is.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Now with the boots, though, Zora is officially in logic now.
Now, what's leading to those flippers?
I don't know. It could be anything at this point. Well,
Palace,
not anything, obviously, not in
Palace of
midst
Footwear.
locations. It could be vanilla flippers, too.
True.
Okay, so I think this place has been cleaned out, except for the Helmosaur item, obviously, which is going to be our next target for Dragon. Spooty just opting to go straight to Helmosaur.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a bad play at all.
Oh, definitely not.
And especially since they were able to go into Thieves Town and get silvers, that's going to make this fight easy.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
just
definitely.
one arrow shot.
So despite entering Palace of Darkness before SpootyBiscuit, Spooty is going to be able to get through here and still grab the third crystal before Dragon even gets his first one. Now, chat is calling attention to the fact that Spooty did not get the boots, but I imagine he's going to jump back in to check the
Yes.
items he missed. He just wants to
I would assume so, yeah. Just getting that big key right away and then going through the back way. I think just the decision to get Helmosaur out of the way and then come back in.
If anything, it's probably faster to do that, because then once you mirror after getting all the other items, you can just leave. Or probably go to Eastern right after, obviously, but
Yep.
yeah.
You don't need the menu again, because you'll have the mirror out.
Exactly.
Dragon finishing off Helmosaur there.
With Helmosaur taken care of, Dragon gonna hop right back in Eastern. Has all the items in here except the item on Armos, so this is gonna be a very quick clear for him.
I always worry when I have the mirror as the item, so I sometimes tend to accidentally use the item, and I've actually used the mirror on accident a couple times.
Yeah. I've definitely done that too, even in a tourney race as well, so it's definitely not a good feeling when that happens.
Alright, Spooty getting their Zora money. Getting bodied by those turtles there.
And one thing Spooty could do, if he really wanted to, he could go north to Catfish and then mirror over to get the Zora item as well.
Yep.
He will leave that 300 behind because he does not have flippers yet, but again, flippers could be there, and at this point I think he's pretty much covered for money for the rest of the seed.
Yep, any additional rupees found, assuming they find any additional bottles, could be used for potions for safeties.
Yeah. Okay, so the Armos fight for Dragon, gonna not be as short as Spooty's will be, since he does have the silver arrows, but getting bodied a little bit here. And gets the final item in Eastern, which is just a red rupee. That is 2 crystals for Dragon. Spooty on his way into not just finish the Armos, but also clear it out, since he has not checked the items in here yet. But he will get his 4th crystal when he does finish that up.
So after all this, Dragon will get their gloves, opens up Death Mountain, technically.
Mm-hmm. Death Mountain will open up. If he's lucky enough, he could start thinking, well, Zora's in logic. Maybe if I go back down there and do a fake flipper, I can get some stuff, and we'll be able to pick up the other Cluff upgrade and Flute.
Mm-hmm. Dragon finding the red mail and Bonk Rocks there.
So looking at what we have right now, at this point, really the only item that's going to be required by logic, could be required by logic, is, well, flippers obviously for Ice Palace, but they can fake flipper that. But there's also the hookshot. Hookshot is also going to be required, and that's like the only item that seems to be kind of, well, obviously flippers again too. We don't know where either of those are.
Yep, it'll be the search for the hookshot. Where will it be? Where would it be? In a Turtle Rock? Can it be in swamp? It could be in ice. It all just depends on where those flippers are.
And the funny thing is, I mean, you hear about this technique a lot from all the people in chat because it is a very interesting tech to witness firsthand. But technically, if you know the hovering technique, hookshot may not be required in this seed either. But it's it's a very difficult thing to pull off. I imagine that not a lot of runners can do it. So I still think they're going to be on the lookout for that anyway.
Mm-hmm. Dragon on their way to the library there. Getting their library card ready to check out some gloves. The reading gloves.
I guess the other unknown is obviously we have to see what Mystery Meyer's medallion requirement is. We don't know that either. But if you know all the tech there is in this game, you could be in Go mode right now, is basically what I was hinting at earlier.
You could also be a legend.
Yeah, that's very true.
Alright, we're getting the Mad Batter check. Just the big 20 there.
Spooty remembering that he does have a bottle. Gonna check out the sick kid item location. Just for some bombs.
Kid doesn't need the bombs anymore, so we'll just give it to you guys.
And looks like Dragon is going to be making his, I mean, he's been in Dark World, but this is going to be his first left side of Dark World access. Going to have a much comfortable fight than what Spooty had for Mokula.
Spooty picking up their advanced reading gloves.
Sorry, Spooty. It looks like your opponent picked up the last remaining power gloves, so here's this slightly better Titan's mitt for you.
We're getting our Meyer check here. Can finish as long as they have the medallion to get in.
Ooh, Bombos. So we're not... Okay, we need Bombos for Go mode, and Hookshot still, technically.
I wonder if the key is going to be under the shed here. Is Bombo's going to be in here?
I've seen it happen. It's definitely a possibility.
And we're getting also a desert check. I don't know if the ledge was checked at all.
I believe it was, yeah. I knew it was nothing important because I remember seeing it. I just did not remember what exactly it was.
So, I don't recall anything in desert.
I believe the cape was here, but we know at this point the cape is not going to be required for anything since the bumper ledge was not important.
Its only real use and discernible difference from the Gain of Brian. Just that bumper cave.
If we do happen to find that Bombos medallion, though, we could see a scenario that's not often seen where you might have a runner with 6 crystals in under an hour.
Yeah. Some people have a problem getting 1 crystal in under an hour.
Yeah.
They might get 6 in that time.
And that's just part of Randomizer. Sometimes just on the route you take and the items you find on your own routing decisions can just make the crystals take a long time to get. Thankfully at that point it'll usually be a little faster because you should have a lot of items by that point, but
yep.
You never know how it's going to be until you're done with the run. I think at this point it's highly likely we're going to find something on Death Mountain just because there's a lot of stuff that's just blocked by items we do not have. Swamp is locked out due to no flippers. Ice Palace locked out due to no flippers. Can't enter Mire. Can't... May not be able to enter Turtle Rock.
We still have all of Death Mountain to check.
Yeah, Death
Dark
Mountain's
and Light
huge.
World. So we're more likely going to find our flippers on Death Mountain, just with the sheer number of items there. Spooty, unfortunately, just missing one shot on Landmolus there.
Ooh, there's the 10 bomb drop.
Yep, the flippers could be on a tablet, it could be on Bombos or Ether tablet. Just gotta get to it and check.
Yeah, at this point, Spooty has the option between, again, going to Death Mountain or potentially just working on some of these Dark World one-off locations, mirror locations, and, of course, the Smithy quest as well.
Yeah, we got Graveyard Ledge, we got King's Tomb as well. Checkerboard gave just a heart container there, opting not to get it.
Now he's going to check Agonist Cave, because he's over here, so why not give this a check while you're down here? Meanwhile, Dragon does pick up his third crystal. Yep, third crystal, so probably going to make his way up to Skull Woods here in a minute after he checks these remaining locations.
So Spooty does have some options. If they want to go for that early ice gamble, fake flipper in there and clear out and see what they can get. If the hook shot's going to be there, Bombos. Looking like they're going to King's Tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe those are the only two items that they should need, Hookshot and Bombos.
Yes.
At least to complete it with how they're able to complete it.
Yeah, because at this point we know Spooty can do the fake flipper technique. He obviously showcased that when he got the Power Glove as early as he did. And you know, it really depends on how Ice Palace is laid out, because I want to say there is a way where Hookshot may not be required for Ice Palace based on where the items are. So Hookshot could very well be in Ganon's Tower.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, as it was pointed out, Death Mountain has no crystals.
Yep, only pendants up there. None of them even the green pendant either.
Got Hera that was blue pendant and Turtle Rock, which was the red.
We are finally going to get started on Death Mountain stuff, though, as Spooty does make his way up there, so you know, we very well could find those last two remaining pieces of the puzzle up here without even going into a dungeon up here, so that's probably what he's going to be hoping for right now. Meanwhile, Dragon taking on Mothula has more health, red mail, so was not as didn't have to be as careful as what Spooty had to be.
Getting their prized weapon. Ooh, that was Tempered Sword up there.
Yep.
So Spooty in a good position damage-wise, sword-wise. Like how Mothula hid the bee in a bottle. Can't use it against it if they can't get it from you.
I think he was just protecting his son, honestly. But yeah, with silvers, I think it was highly unlikely for them to get the sword on pedestal anyway, but with tempered being found here, they're definitely not going to get that sword.
Yeah, you're not going to go that far out of your way. Butter sword does not save that much time. It's purely for safety.
Yeah, and since flippers are going to be required for Swamp Palace anyway, like, you're not going to be in a position where you're going to need to go through all 3 pendant dungeons unless you just get unlucky and pick the wrong one.
Mm-hmm. We're getting our ether tablet check here. And from the heavens we get a heart container.
So one way Dragon could kind of make up some time is if there is nothing on Death Mountain, Dragon could immediately get starting to... Well, he doesn't have the mitts, though. I was going to say he could check some of these overworld locations that Spooty did not check, and if he finds the items he needs, he could be in good shape to catch up, but...
They gotta stumble upon those flippers.
Yeah.
Or decide to fake flipper and get the flute and glove.
One location we're going to see right here, though, is we're going to see the Graveyard Ledge. In this version, I find that there seems to be a lot of items in this location.
I've seen flippers here many a time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those flippers locking the flute and Titan's mitts. And there it is!
Oh my gosh!
Like I said.
Okay, so this needs to trigger in his mind. Okay, let me check what's over in Zora finally, and that'll be very good.
Alright, so... well then.
Yeah, I want to say this race has kind of changed a little bit now, because that's actually a really huge find if Spooty stays up here for a while.
So, the only thing is, if Swamp is an actual requirement to get into, to get Bombos or the hookshot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a way that Dragon is going to be able to make up time.
Gonna turn in the mushroom first, though.
We're getting our Turtle Rock check here.
Will it be Quake? And if it is, will that encourage him to step inside?
It is!
Oh boy.
The possibility. At least opening it up for now.
Yeah.
I assume they will check the outside items and then decide to come back.
Yeah, that'd be my guess as well. Man, this race just changed a lot of things.
Oh, going straight in.
Might be thinking, like, I have the tools to pretty much check everything except the item on Trine X. If there's a map or a compass on Trine X, I can get every item in here. There's 5 items in here, plus Mimic Cave, that's 6. You know, it's not a bad check at all.
And of course, if it is somehow on Trinex, they need to find where that ice rod is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not a big item on their mind right now, but uh-oh. Going the lower path here.
Oh yeah, without a hookshot, you have to.
Just realized.
Hey, I'm happy you remembered. Whenever I've had to do this in this fashion, I always forget that I don't have hookshot, so I end up wasting more time. So, kudos to him for
just so used to doing it the the usual with the hook shot. Getting our Zora check here. Heart piece.
Now, Dragon does not have his Titan's Mitt yet. He still has to... Okay, he's remembering he has to float, so he's going to be activating that, and hopefully he goes to check the hobo location so he can get that Titan's Mitt.
So with them finding the flippers, it's just a thing on their mind. It's what part of the flippers is this leading me to? The swamp, or is it somewhere else?
It can't lead him to Ice Palace because they do need a Titan's Mitt to get into Ice Palace, but... Hopefully it's a hobo check here and not a Swamp Palace check, at least for right now.
Oh, unfortunate there.
Mountain too. Again, can't blame him. This has been relatively unchecked entirely, so this check makes sense.
It would be really weird if Death Mountain in general didn't really have anything of use.
It really would. I mean, it has Tempered Sword. That's definitely going to be useful.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like
I know.
If it doesn't have a hook shot or bombos, it's largely out of the picture, which is strange to me.
Yeah, for sure. So without okay, this could be...
Could have a Hera check here.
Yes, because he can't get into Turtle Rock right now without the mitts. So if one of those items is in Hera, this could still be all right.
We are getting our Mimic Cave check here.
This actually had Ice Rod in my race yesterday. 300 rupees today, though. And Dragon did not pick up Tempered, but I imagine he's going to check Hera, or oh no, he's going to jump up and get it now.
Yeah, I would still go for Tempered. Like, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to get the Ether Tablet first because it was up there.
It'd be a shame if the item is actually on Trinex. The Ice Rod is somewhere else. They have to make their way back.
Yeah, because we're near the end of Spooty's checks right now. He's got 4 chests on Laser Bridge. I imagine one of those has got to be... Well, one of them has to be the small key to get to the next part. And then there's also probably going to be a map or compass or something as well.
Good movement on the Laser Bridge so far. Unfortunately, nothing.
Ooh, that is very unfortunate. Meanwhile, Dragon is taking his look at Tower of Hera now.
Yeah, that beetle is placed there just to annoy people.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you dealt with 3 of these eye lasers by themselves. Here's an eye laser with a beetle on top of it.
Alright, Dragon going for the bomb jump here. Not too hard to set up with the boots.
Ooh, unfortunately does not get the dash in there, so...
And gets the double fall.
Mm-hmm. Spooty checking Super Funny Cave, just finding some bombs and some rupees, so nothing in here as well. I imagine Hookshot Cave is next. Now, doesn't have the hookshot, but that first chest is very much available with the boots, and the hookshot can be there, so we'll see if that's...
You can bonk to it, so yeah, I have found it there before. It is an option. Fortunately, getting bullied there.
I would normally use the hookshot to get that guy, but unfortunately...
You know, certain restrictions. Or, if you do know how to hover, you can just clear out the entire cave.
Seeing that Spooty did not do that, it looks like that does technically confirm that, yeah, we probably are going to be looking out for hookshot from him now. Also, did Dragon give up on Tower of Hera after falling there?
Oh?
That's what it looks like, because he doesn't have the pendant. I guess he could have maybe found the last item and left.
At this point, they both know that there's a sword on there, and the dungeons that they do need to complete in order to pull it aren't really worth the time to finish. So, counting their items right, they'll just opt to ignore the rest of the dungeon.
Oh, nothing in Paradox Cave. I'd say that's more of a paradox than the actual cave itself.
It's a real paradox, why people call it Paradox Cave.
Okay, well, it's just a piece of heart, but I'm guessing...
It was on the island the entire time.
The whole time.
Spooty went right past it, and I was unable to catch a glimpse of it because it was maybe on screen for less than a second. But it's been on there the entire time. Oh dear.
Whoa. Did he go to Hobo at least?
Oh no.
Well, maybe after this he'll go there.
This is going to be interesting, because I don't know if Spooty's going to go back and check the island there.
Well,
so they really need Bombas now.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't have flippers yet. So, but
yeah.
I mean, he has shown that he does know how to do water walk. Maybe it's not that specific. Yeah. Okay, go to Hobo.
Spooty needs to be very careful, because it is a thing that they have gone by and might have checked off their list. So, Dragon might be behind right now, but they have caught up item-wise.
They have, yeah, because they're just almost away.
Making their way to crystals as well. So, it's, this is still very much a race.
I think he's gonna go. Yeah, he's checking the Mire area now. He has not been here yet, so gonna be checking this. The thing is, once Spooty checks this item here, I think he's gonna be caught up in terms of Death Mountain items. So he's probably going to start be looking for the same thing now.
This is certainly a very, very close race.
Yeah, it is. Just checking that one mirror location, I think, really changed things up in a lot of ways.
And as well as Spooty routed early on, it can really hurt right now, especially without those flippers and that hook shot.
Well, he has a mirror shield at least. Shame he's already through laser bridge, but anyway, answer a question in chat. The flippers were in the graveyard ledge location, the location you need a mirror for in Northern Dark World. Spooty did not check a lot of mirror locations when he went through this early part of his Dark World routing, so he has all those on the table still. I think he is going to start looking through some of these locations.
This is going to be a Bombos tablet check here.
Could be vanilla Bombos.
Very much so. I've had that happen before, and I won't speak any more of that. Unfortunately, just the big 20 there, not Bombos.
And Dragon is on his way to getting his 5th crystal, and at this point they'll be tied up again in crystal numbers. Something that has not been the case since they both had 0 crystals at the very beginning of the match, so... Looks like Spooty is zeroing in on mirror locations, though. This will give him the flippers.
Once you thought this this race was starting to become a little one-sided, oh,
boom, randomizer. It changes. Man, both of our runners could be in Ice Palace at the same exact time, looking for the last item.
Yep, we're getting our graveyard check here.
And I think Dragon still has to check checkerboard, if I remember correctly.
What was that?
Dragon still has to check checkerboard here, I believe.
Yep. I believe that was Heart Container?
Yes, I believe so.
Now, it begs the question, is it Sankart?
I don't think we'll be able to tell in this case, but...
Yeah.
Okay, Spooty is going here. This is moment of truth. Does he actually know that Hookshot was there the whole time and has just been waiting for flippers to get it?
Judging on this, it looks like he does know. It was on screen for a very brief moment of time, so...
Yeah.
Alright, so Spooty just needs Bombos, wherever Bombos is.
And unfortunately for Dragon, he is opting to go back up to Death Mountain. This could be a Turtle Rock check for him.
And as we know, Turtle Rock didn't have anything
No.
Everything was checked except for Trinex himself, so.
So if Bombos is an Ice Palace here, then Spooty is going to have a pretty big advantage.
Oh yeah, Hookshot Cave hasn't been fully checked.
That's true.
So that is this could be an actual interesting decision here.
I did not even consider that. Yeah, that's right. Hookshot Cave.
So Spooty will most likely do the full clear of ice here just to make sure. And then after that, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air.
Mm-hmm. If there's some in Swamp, that could also even things up again, I imagine.
And I think I did mention this chat right before the race that I called Ice Rod and Ice Palace. So,
yeah.
You never know.
Okay, Hookshot Cave had nothing. And yep, looks like Dragon is going to be making his way to Turtle Rock.
Swamp is also a possibility.
And I don't think we've seen any of the Smithy side quest either, so that's another thing.
The only thing that was checked was the Mad Batter and Bombos tablet there, so
Yep.
that entire thing has been largely ignored.
And I can definitely understand this play from Dragon here, especially like if he's even thinking of the fact that, well, a glove upgrade and flute could have been so very easily sequence broke too early. I'm gonna need to make this Turtle Rock play just to have any sort of chance. And he could be thinking that right now, and
Yep.
you know, it's a very, very smart play. It's just gonna unfortunately not be the correct play in this case.
Well, the wrong medallion, but we found Ether.
So I think that's 2 items we have for Ice Palace so far, unless I missed the third one early.
And you gotta think with what's going on in their minds if they're in their routing. If they're going for pure item density, Turtle Rock and Swamp have a good number of items.
Yeah.
Ice has not so much, but full clear ice is not a bad idea. It certainly doesn't take as long.
We did get the final item though, 300 rupees, so Ice Palace was not the play, but it's a crystal dungeon. We had to do this anyway, so he's not going to be losing a whole lot of time from full clearing this.
So we'll have our presumably Swamp check after this.
Yeah, Swamp or Blacksmith, but yeah.
Yeah.
Could be Blacksmith into Swamp right after it.
Routing wise, that would probably be the better choice.
Holster got away from him there a little bit, but does manage to take him out pretty quickly, and that is crystal number 6 for SpootyBiscuits. And looks like he's going south, straight to Swamp Palace. So the one thing, if you're a dragonc0 supporter of this race, you definitely do not want to see Bombos here in Swamp, and then you're going to want to hope that Dragon immediately goes for Blacksmith after the Turtle Rock play here. That is the one window I see in this race right now, because Spooty is just going to be focusing on all of the remaining locations he has. Definitely has the lead in terms of checks, so...
Yep. Yep, outside of just the various item location checks, not much else in ways to gain time other than just execution and ways like that. Finding that big key right away.
I can definitely see him opting to skip left side and just kind of hoping that he runs into the item on the right side.
Yep. I could see just a pure ignoring of the left side and just go through the dungeon normally. You'll stumble upon chests a lot faster that way. But it looks like Spooty is opting to check the left side of Swamp.
Well, hey, if it's here, score, so... Could be thinking that it's such a close race at this point that, you know, if his opponent skips right or the main side, then it'll be covered.
We have Dragon here.
Ooh,
This could be the Blacksmith check.
The ultimate divergence for this last item. Because we know it's not an Ice Palace.
One of the loose ends we're trying to clear up here to see what things can and cannot be. Also, was Peg Cave checked? I don't believe so.
No,
because
it was not. So
because Titan's Mitts were a bit awkward to find.
Yep. So there's 3 checks here. Technically 4 for Draken, because I don't think he's seen what's on Bombo's tablet yet. But you know, he's thinking 4 items here. If it's not here, I can just jump right in the swamp afterwards. So he has the right mindset right now, but he can have a huge advantage if this turns out to be what he's looking for.
Oh yeah, and I forgot. Green Pendant is Swamp.
Yep.
So anything could happen.
Although at this point, one thing Spooty does have is that he does have ice completed right now, and Dragon will have to at least go through. It'll be fast and go mode, but it's still another dungeon he'll have to complete, so he's almost done with Swamp, so there's not much left.
Yeah, cleaning up the rest of Swamp here won't be too long. And unfortunately, just an arrow capacity upgrade there.
Okay, it's either going to be Purple Chest or Green Pendant or the remaining items in Swamp.
Other than that, I'm not sure of any other locations that we have. Catfish?
I think we've seen... Catfish was the red boomerang.
Okay. I
Neither of our
completely
hunters
missed
picked it up.
that. Alright, we'll get these two chests right down here. And there it is!
There's Bombos, inside Swamp Palace.
So, Spooty is now in go mode.
Mm-hmm. Just needs to clean up Misery Mire now and get the crystal from that. Hopefully, for his sake, he gets the early big key.
So hopefully Dragon decides to opt to ignore left side swamp and go just proceed forward.
You know, he could also be thinking that, okay, he is stopping at Swamp, that's good. Because, you know, he does have a full crystal dungeon that he could be doing instead, so...
Mhm. So despite the fact that Spooty is ahead right now, this is still a race, because we do not know where the big key in Ganon's Tower is going to be. It could throw people off. Again, execution always plays a role.
Yeah.
So Dragon's not out yet.
Yeah, Spooty definitely has a lead. He has an advantage, but with Randomizer, it's honestly not over, I'd say, until you find that Ganon's Tower big key. And even then, like you said, execution, stuff can really happen in that. There's accidents that could be happening on Moldorm 2 or even Ganon. So, you know, it's definitely not over. Looks like we are still... Actually, no, we have... Okay, I think we have the... Yeah, we do. Okay, so we're good to go on Mire. And with Silver Arrows, Vitreous is not going to be a concern at all.
Nope, very easy to take down.
And Dragon C0 is also in go mode, not long after SpootyBiscuit. Only big difference here is that Dragon will have to jump over here to Ice and clear this very quickly. Won't have to look in all the chests for items. So I'd say about a dungeon behind Spooty at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Actually 2 dungeons, I'd say. But 2 very quick ones. And there is crystal number 7 for SpootyBiscuit, which means we are on our way to Ganon's Tower, and we do play a little bit of a game here on the Speed Gaming channels. When it comes to Ganon's Tower, there are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower that could have the big key. In the chat, feel free to guess, where do you think that big key location is going to be? 1 through 22? If you don't want to give a number, you can also give a location as well. Your choice.
Was there a command for that?
I think the bot might be broken right now. No,
there we go.
Sorry about that, guys.
Alright,
yeah,
now get your guesses in.
Now get your guesses in. 1 through 22.
You have until the very beginning of Ganon's Tower to get your guesses in.
Yes. And if you are a supporter of the Speed Gaming Network, either through a subscription or have donated 250 bits, you do get a chance to be entered into the leaderboard after the game is over. But that does not mean that you have to subscribe or donate to be a part of the game. You're always willing to play, even if you aren't a supporter. So definitely get those numbers in regardless. Meanwhile, dragonc0 making his way very quickly through Ice Palace. Ice Palace in Go mode, definitely one of the faster dungeons to get through. Meanwhile, SpootyBiscuit starting to look for that big key. Gonna check the right side 2 chests first.
Gets a key in a heart container, and with that key, most likely gonna get a right side check here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's favorite ignoring of the tile room until it finally has something.
Yeah, as tempting as it could be to check that location first and potentially gain a huge advantage over your opponent, whenever that happens, it just does not really work out. So I can understand people not wanting to check that.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the bot commands.
I am too, actually. Whoops.
Alright, so I haven't been keeping track. Let's see. 1, 2,
This is
5,
7
6,
right here.
7.
Okay, 11 locations done with. Still have not found it.
And there it is.
Location number 12.
Let's see if this is the right command.
Wow, we did it. Somehow we made it through that.
Yep.
But yeah, good job, Don Perry, for being the closest sub or supporter. You have been added to the leaderboard. But yeah, Spooty is getting ready to enter everyone's favorite part of the Ganon's Tower climb. We have the Gauntlet coming up here. Basically, several rooms filled with enemies. We have to destroy all of them. Random enemy RNG will always be in place here, so you never know what you're going to get when you're climbing the Gauntlet. And it's just a fun series of rooms to try and optimize these quickly, but it can also be a little frustrating too.
Yep. Looks like Spooty is learned in the ways of the Fire Rod strats here, so not too hard.
Yeah, Fire Rod, very effective for hitting these enemies from a long range. Silver's also nice to use as well. If you're packing higher leveled swords, sometimes just trying to get in there quick and destroy them can also work.
Almost getting that third hit there.
Yeah, chat also pointing out that you can even just use a medallion or something and just immediately get rid of enemies in the Gauntlet.
Yep.
But can be a bit time consuming too.
Last hit on the land molus there being a bit troublesome. Bombos, it'll get rid of everything on screen pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
While I usually stick with Ether for the Stalfos.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anyway, it looks like Spooty will be approaching Moldorm 2 by the time Dragon gets to Vitreous, so, you know, about 3/4 of a Ganon's Tower behind.
Yep.
Really not too bad, considering just how long it took Dragon to get those glove upgrades.
Yep. A pure left side Ganon Tower check will save time, but don't know if it'll be enough at this point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and chat just reminded me the 12 blue ball Aga fight
Yeah.
that he had to endure.
That certainly did not help at all.
So while Spooty did have like tremendous early game routing, I mean, Dragon really did catch up in a lot of ways, so definitely have to hand it to him there for just bridging that gap tremendously, just considering the huge deficit at the beginning.
Spooty checking the chest. Bold move.
Bold move. Don't think it was worth it, personally.
I believe that was just one hit there.
Yes, I believe so.
Get 3 in that round.
Wow. Very, very easy 3 to set up right there.
There we go.
And with that, Spooty is on his way to the Ganon fight, and an hour and 40 minutes in, after pretty much checking every dungeon all the way through. Like, this is really great time that he's made.
Oops, Dragon forgot to go into the Dark World.
Yeah.
It's just so eager to get into Ganon's Tower.
Mm-hmm. Again, I mean, he probably feels like he's behind right now, just based on the late glove acquisition.
Yeah, certainly seeing that glove was down there and realizing that his opponent probably fake flippered to get it, or at least possibly did it. Alright, good couple phases there. Alright, two hits down already. Just need, well, one more now. Should be able to get it after this torch lighting. And there it is.
Just as dragonc0 enters Ganon's tower. Looks like he is doing the left side check too, by the way.
And there it is. We have our winner, SpootyBiscuit.
Finishing with a time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 57 seconds, and being advanced into the bracket stages now of this tournament. So get your GGs in chat on a very nicely done performance. And dragonc0 finding that big key in just his 6th check location, so makes through the basement of Ganon's tower fairly quickly.
Yep.
And joining us for a post-race interview, we have our winner for this race. Good afternoon, SpootyBiscuit. GG, how are you feeling after that race?
Oh man, I'm just, it's pretty unbelievable. Like I didn't really go into expecting to win this one, so what a wild seed though.
It was certainly one to see unfold.
Yeah, I was feeling so good at the start with the fake flipper, just giving so much, the flute and the lift upgrade and circumventing the, I'm pretty sure logic intended required Aghanim.
That is correct.
Oh man, like I'm just, kept finding item after item, and then it just, it all came to a screeching halt. It's like, okay, well, where are the flippers?
Yep.
It's interesting you bring up that logically Aghanim was required, because yes, that was the case, and not only did you avoid climbing up Aghanim's tower, you also avoided a 12 blue ball Aga fight by...
Oh, good lord.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Oh man, I feel so bad for that.
Yeah, so...
I think the worst I've ever personally experienced is 10.
Yeah. But yeah, just from that, yeah, you can definitely tell what one of the big differences of the two runs here. Dragon, unfortunately, stayed within the logic and did not get that Aga skip, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things like you really don't expect it to pay off, the fake flippers to pay off that much. Like, I certainly didn't. I'm like, maybe I'll find something over here, but like the way the item progression was coming up, I'm like, this seems like it's probably going to be an Aghanim seed with like the early lantern and the master sword.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and just stick to my usual guns to go ahead and do the fake flipper. We got the moon pearl. We can check the waterfall fairy, and then it just paid off like you wouldn't believe. Just the flute and lift upgrade out of sequence like way earlier. Like that is just so much.
Yeah, it really was. And again, just major props, because you got Dark World access so much earlier than your opponent, or true Dark World access. You also didn't have a lot of health or defenses on your side, and my gosh, that 5-heart Mothula fight.
Oh my god. My heart stopped as I went in for the last swing, because I realized as I pressed for that swing that there was a spike that was like 2 pixels from hitting me, and I'm so lucky that hit killed, because otherwise I was super dead. Like,
yep, that is certainly something I noticed. If that didn't hit or didn't kill, you were most likely dead.
100%. Like that spike was going to hit me in like another frame. It couldn't have gotten any closer.
But yeah, certainly worked out for you to find that glove there, because you ended up going to Skullwoods and Village of Valacast. Again, ended up getting a bunch of those items, which helped you with Pod and Eastern.
It also got me Quake, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But yeah, it was definitely interesting, like, at the very beginning, like, again, just with that sequence break, and then just the way you were really routing those first 4 to 5 crystals, like, it looked like it was almost going to be a wash, but then that hunt for the flippers really kind of brought things almost kind of even again, because your opponent did actually check that location quite a bit earlier than what you did. I think you were in Turtle Rock at the time he was actually kind of checking those locations, and managed to get the hook shot before you did, and he was 1 item away from go mode before you were. It's just, unfortunately, he also decided to make the Turtle Rock play.
I'm assuming that 1 item was being Bombos then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bombos was go mode for both of you, definitely.
Yeah, ultimately, I just came down to, like, I felt behind after that, and it's like, you know, when, you know, just, it kind of went with, like, you know, well, where's, like, the last place that I would check, like, if I were my opponent? Probably Swamp, I guess, like, Pendant Swamp. Who wants to go into Pendant Swamp? And, yeah, worked out, because, you know, just getting those as soon as I finished Ice, and turned up nothing there.
Not only Pendant Swamp, but Green Pendant Swamp. So there's also the possibility you had to kill Argus there.
Yeah, thankfully not, though.
That actually makes me wonder now if maybe Ice Rod was Green Pendant and that was what you needed for Trinex. Because yeah, we never found Ice Rod.
Could have been deeper in GT. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah,
the rest of left side, yeah.
And now Dragon is on the Ganon fight now as well.
And that cape to good use there in the corner. At one point, we were starting to wonder where Tempered Sword was going to be, other than the pedestal location, because with the way these pendants were laid out, the gamble of maybe finishing pendants just for Tempered, if they were quick enough.
Yeah, I had no plans on doing that, but I was really concerned because, like, my Master Sword Ganon fight is not very good, and like when I saw when I see that sword on pedestal, I'm like, oh lord, that's 1 sword upgrade I'm never getting, and I'm probably not getting Tempered. Like, what are the chances I find the 1 location there's still a sword upgrade hiding? But you know, thankfully it turned up, and you know, it was a little inconvenient spot having to walk through Spectacle Rock is a little tedious, but I think worth the investment.
Oh, certainly.
And your opponent, dragonc0, finishing his run at exactly the 1 hour and 50 mark. So get your GGs in chat, everyone. Great display by both runners here. I think I'll go ahead and bring him in for the interview here. Looks ready. And with us, we have dragonc0. How are you doing after that run, man?
It was fine. Some execution errors, but overall it was pretty decent.
Yeah, overall you played pretty well. You stayed within the logic, which.
I am so sorry. My condolences. I heard what happened at Aghanim.
That Aga fight was not cool.
No one wishes a 12 blue ball Aga upon people.
It was like 12 blue balls straight from the start. I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. Why, Aga, why? All I'm hoping for is that I'm making the right decision here. But yeah.
Well, I mean, again, it was the right decision by logic, and again, like, your opponent obviously did do the fake flipper sequence break, did manage to get flute and the power glove from that, so it did make quite a bit of time there considering. But you really kind of bridged the gap a lot when it came to that mid to late game routing, because you had flippers before Spooty did, and you actually were one item away from go mode before Spooty was, so it was looking really, really close there for a while.
Yeah, I was really hoping on those flippers. I think that was like the only thing that might have been a bit obscure in the term of everything that I found at the time. So I was kind of hoping that Spooty didn't find that until like later, and I'd gamble on T-Rock and hopefully Bombus was there.
Yeah, by the time I found them, I was pretty much down to Zora and Catfish. Were the only things after that.
Yeah. I was doubting between Swamp and T-Rock, and I was on the mountain, and I was like, let's do T-Rock first.
Yeah, because I believe you were up on the mountain with Hookshot, which Spooty wasn't, so it was kind of at that point where he was getting ready to jump in the swamp, and you were up there. It's like, wow, if this is either... It could either be Swamp or it could either be Hookshot Cave. So it was literally that close. Like, it was that close.
As soon as I saw that Bombos on Meyer, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be so annoying. It's gonna be 50-50s all over the place. It's gonna be overruled. T-Rock.
Yeah, I was already I did one practice run earlier today and had almost I had a pretty similar problem where I just couldn't find the medallion to get into Turtle Rock for the run, and I'm like, oh man, this is happening again. Bombos is just gonna stay away, hide away from me for the next hour and a half or something, and that's gonna be it.
And looking back, I don't believe Death Mountain, like in its entirety, had anything of value other than Tempered Sword for you guys.
Tempered Sword, yeah.
Yeah, no, pretty Tempered Sword and Spectacle Rock, but everything else was junk, including all 5 items in Turtle Rock. I got to find that one out.
Yep.
Yeah, the audacity.
It's so strange.
The audacity of giving you Quake so early, which is what you needed for Turtle Rock, and then
I was like, it has to be there.
Oh yeah, I was so confident when I saw Quake on Turtle Rock. I'm like, okay, we're gonna dig Bombus out of here. And since I knew mitts were flipper locked, it's like I'm just gonna find Bombus, and then I'm gonna leave. Flippers can't be here. So and then I didn't find Bombus because it was hiding off on the opposite side of the world, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, GG to you both. Fantastic race. Congrats on making it to the bracket stages, Spooty. And Dragon, you obviously have 2 more weeks to go. Just need 1 win, and you made it to 4-0, so, it's very much possible. The ball is still in your court, so best of luck moving forward to your next 2 matches.
Thank you. I really hope it's not going to turn out like the other tourney I participated in, where I went 3-0 the first time and then went 3-3 and didn't make the tiebreaker race, so hopefully we don't repeat that.
Well, at the very least, I mean, and it'll definitely depend on dropouts as well, but even with a 4-3, I think as long as you, win early and get those 4 wins early, it's a pretty strong possibility, not one you feel comfortable with, obviously, but even if that does happen, you still have a chance through that means as well. But yeah, I think that is going to do it for this race. Any final thoughts from you 2 guys before we wrap things up here?
Not really anything to add. Just GG's well played, and again, regarding the Aga, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, GG was was a nice race. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add upon that. Thank you everyone for putting this all together, commentators, trackers, restreamers, speed gaming. Yeah, and that's it.
Okay, cool. I guess we'll go ahead and close it out then. If anyone in chat is still up for some more randomizer action, do not fret. We have a couple more matches happening today. In fact, there is going to be a match coming up in just an hour on Speed Gaming 1. We have My Kings versus TGH, so definitely check that out if you're interested in more. Also, follow the 6 Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, as well as ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 4. Randomizer will be happening for the next several weeks, even months for that matter. So if you like what you saw, there's definitely more to come. Definitely a big thank you to our tracker for this match, Sinhi, for keeping those item trackers up to date, so we always knew what we had at all times. Great working with you. And of course, thank you to my co-com for this match, Fat Homie 666. It was a pleasure commentating this epic race with you, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So thank you for joining me on this.
Yep, certainly fun to commentate this race and see how things unfolded. So yeah, thanks for joining me with this.
And with that, I think we'll sign off of that. So see you guys later from the Speed Gaming 5 front, and talk to you next time in Randomizer Land. Later, folks.
See ya.